Well, hello there folks, and welcome back to what is us over at Join Infernal Arena to go through how you can defeat some of the later bosses at this map. And yes, we will include some speed runs with Forge later on, but at the start of this video we really want to just have a look at how you can go along without Forge if you don't have it yet, because you should be able to still defeat these monsters with a few potions. As always, if you have your own methods of defeating these bosses, make sure to leave them down in the comments below, because it does help other people to come along and maybe use some other classes if they potentially haven't got the ones I'm using here. You will notice I am using some more basic potions in this video. That's because I was trying to clear out some inventory space. Ultimately though, make sure you got damage boosters on, battle elixirs, fate tonics. Those sort of items will really help you out. Obviously they're more powered up versions, and we'll talk about revitalize elixirs later on, because they really do help me out personally when I'm coming along and doing these fights. Anyway, Cervus, the most important thing to note is when he says he inverts your healing, do not use any heals until it says your healing is no longer inverted. If you use heals in that time, you're going to be self-damaging yourself with whatever your heal would have been, and most likely nuking yourself, because you'll be using a fairly powerful class, and if it's Archpaladin that you decide to go with, then you'll be one-hitting yourself. So just make sure you keep an eye out for that text appearing. It is really important, and it is the main mechanic of this battle. Other than that, you should be absolutely fine. Just make sure that you have that heal ready to go once the boss is allowing you to use it again. Right then folks, you'll note the potent revitalize elixir is going on. If you need any potions, Join Alchemy Academy is the place to go, and you can trade them in with gold vouchers. Really handy if you've never gone along grabbing potions before. This time round we are Void High Lord with full luck. We want that potent revitalize on because this boss damages you 1000 per hit, but there is also a bonus mechanic in there, which is when you see the following text appear on screen: prepare for your undoing, would you believe it's about to nuke you with 3000 damage. Your haste on Void High Lord shouldn't be a problem, so your skill 3 should be coming back nice and quickly for you to be able to use that heal. But again, just make sure when you see that text you have it ready to go. With the Revitalize in the background though, your healing should be plenty high enough to see you through this battle without really having to think too much about it. So that is the way I would go about doing it, but as always, there'll be other methods, and I'm sure people will let us know down below what they would go for. Now then, this one is a little bit slower. The Scythe, we are going with Lord of Order. I've put full wizard on, maybe it should have been full luck, but you know, experiment however you want to. Crucially, I've gone with the Revitalize potion yet again. I just find with these battles, if you want security to get through them, it is just easier to have it on. One thing I would say is I believe you can use Yami, and definitely you can use Shaman for this particular fight. So if you have either of those classes, they should be far more optimum than coming along here and sitting with Lord of Order. With the Scythe, you want to keep an eye out for it doing a mini nuke of about 2500 to 2000 damage, and just make sure you have your heal ready to go straight after that. Other than that, like I said, Lord of Order is a really secure way of doing the Scythe. Obviously, when we look at the speed run in a bit, we will not be using Lord of Order. As I mentioned earlier, if you are coming along here without Forge, there are other classes available to you to be able to try this battle. The main reason, my personal preference would be Lord of Order. It's just a really safe run, even though it is a little bit slow. But like I say, experiment with the potions, make sure you put on some good, strong, potent ones, and you should be okay. Right, the Revitalize is on yet again. We have our Honor potions, and I think I was also using a Fate tonic at this point in time. We are back with Void High Lord, full luck, and this time we are taking on Now. I really don't know if that's how I'm supposed to say his name, but it is my best guess at it. The start of this fight, you want to try and put as much DPS into him as physically possible. What will start happening next is the main mechanic of the fight. You'll see Veni appear on screen, you will then see the text Vidi, and then after that is followed by Vici. Each of those three texts, when they appear on screen, are signaling a nuke, so that is 3 consecutive nukes in a row, which is why it's really important to have a class equipped with a low cooldown heal. At least that's why I'm going along and using Void High Lord, because that skill 3 ability will come round just in time for each of the words as they cycle through. Give it a moment to see your health drop when you see the first word Veni appear, because that means obviously you've been nuked, and at that point you'll want to heal. You want to make sure you space them out a little bit so the heal is ready to go after the nukes happen, and that you don't go early before, because then you're going to get nuked and nuked again without a heal in between, if you see what I'm trying to say. So just go through like that, and when you see those words starting to appear on screen, just make sure you focus on your health and healing for that time period, and hopefully you should get through the battle. Just on screen now is confirmation that we were running full luck on Void High Lord. We do have damage boosters on. The weapon I was using was the dual necrotic Swords of Doom, just for anyone wondering what boost was equipped at the time. Okay, now let us have a little look at what Void High Lord is like if you run it with Dauntless, Vainglory and Anima, and yes, of course, we are fully potted up at this point. This will significantly speed up your battles, and the important thing to note with Void High Lord and Dauntless is that with this particular setup, you can use it for all 4 of the bosses, one after the other that we've shown you. One of my favourite things about it is when you get to now, you can pretty much take him out in one rotation. You can just get through that 1.5 million HP like an absolute shredder and not have to worry about anything. It's very similar when you come along to the key, you can just go along pretty much spamming through your skills. Make sure you keep a half eye open on your HP. It can get a little bit dodgy if you see it dropping into the 700, so just make sure you're using plenty of your 3, and of course that you are making use of having Dauntless. The next boss we are moving on to is inevitably going to be the Scythe, and this one is still considerably slower, but this is an awful lot quicker than how we looked at it with Void High Lord earlier on. HP, again, isn't going to be the biggest issue in the world between using your skill 3 and also having Dauntless on, and you will be doing a very nice amount of damage between your skills. Again, as we spoke about some of those classes earlier, potentially Yami and Dauntless could be an option. You could also maybe try Shaman as well with a load of Forge in it, and they could be even better. But to be honest, if you can just stick one class on and you've got a fairly low kill time now on the side, this should hopefully get you through those farms that you need to do for this particular monster. Anyway, when it does one day go down, because I keep forgetting to use my Honor Potions mid-battle apparently, we defeat the Scythe, and that is another one gone. Then we have Now, and this one is just the case of how we looked at him earlier. Pile as much DPS into him as you physically can. You will get this down to about 100k HP most times. That's what I was averaging, maybe 200 in a worst case scenario, so you will get it down really, really quickly. And again, if you're using optimum damage boosting potions, that will significantly help you here. Just make sure you don't do anything silly when he starts calling out the words, and you do keep an eye on your health. Anyway, folks, hopefully that helps you out a little bit. Please do leave the video a like, and of course subscribe. And if you have any other composition ideas you would like to share, please do chuck them in the comments for our fellow community members down below. Until next time, have a lovely day.